welcome to another GIMP Know How tutorial. This is actually probably gonna be one of my shorter tutorials, yet the result, I think at least, is pretty good. So we're going to need to open up a dancer render, and I'll have not a dancer render, a dancer stock, and I believe this is the same guy that we had for the incredible photo manipulation, but in a slightly different pose this time. So this guy has lots of very good workable designing poses. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this image. So by the way, we're doing a disintegrating type effect with this tutorial, so we're going to make it look as if he is disintegrating. Now what we need to do with this tutorial is unfortunately the most time consuming part of this tutorial, and that is the fact that we have to render him. So how I like to render them is to use the path tool and then select around the entire person. So just do it a lot better than this obviously, but just select around the entire person and then press enter to convert that path to a selection. Then once you have the path into a selection, you can delete the background by clicking select, invert, or just copying and pasting them out. Anyway, you just need to find some way to get this guy out of the background. Now fortunately for me, I already had this pre-rendered when I did the tutorial previously when I was finding out the technique, so I'm going to go ahead and open that guy up. Okay, so I went ahead and rendered pretty much everything else out except for I've actually rendered everything out. So as you can see here, I just have a pretty much identical render here, and we're going to apply the disintegration effect. So we're going to go filters, render, clouds, plasma, and I'm going to use the seed of 0 and turn the turbulence all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this layer's transparency, and then on the render layer, I'm going to click Filters, Map, Displace. And this is something you can feel very good about yourself, GIMP users. Why? Because Photoshop does not have a displace filter, so you can do something that Photoshop cannot. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. I'm using the settings 26 and 27 and leaving everything else at default. Now on this layer, we need to erase the parts we don't want, and I especially want to keep the hood, so I'm just going to choose a big black fuzzy eraser, and I'm going to erase the parts around the arms, his face, so we can distinguish that a little better. I definitely want to keep the hood, and yeah, definitely want to. I'm going to keep the hand as well, and another awesome part that you can keep also is right down here, the foot. The foot ends up looking really awesome. I don't know why. Alright, so now we have this basic disintegration effect. We're going to go ahead and duplicate this layer, then click Filters, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And I'm going to Gaussian blur it by 5, and then click OK. Then I'm going to set this layer mode on Addition. And as you can see here, this gives us a very good looking disintegration effect. However, it's a little strong over on this side of the hood, so I'm going to erase at least a little bit of that. And I think it's a pretty good looking effect so far. I have a little bit that I don't want right here, so I'm going to erase that. The foot ended up looking really nice, except we've noticed that it's a bit jagged yet. So I'm going to go down to the original layer and click Filters, Blur, Gaussian blur again, except by this time I'll be Gaussian blurring by 1, and then click OK. Now for the final touch, I'm just going to take this normal render layer and then duplicate it. Then I'm going to take the move tool and I'm going to move it about right here. Then I'm going to erase the parts that don't look good, like this black part down here, some of the pant part down here, but I'm not going to erase all of it. And the reason I'm duplicating this is to further the illusion, you could say, that he is actually indeed disintegrating. So I'm going to set this layer mode on dodge. And this of course adds more particles around him, at least suggesting the fact that he is disintegrating into lots of light particles. Now I maybe want to make some text, so the text I'm going to use is I'm going to use the font Imagine font, which is a font you can get from dafont. Wow, that's a lot of fonts. You can go ahead and get this font from dafont.com. I'll have the link in the description. So I'm just going to select Imagine font and type in vaporize. wouldn't be good if I spelled that wrong. Yeah, and just like put that right here. Maybe set the text mode on overlay, and yeah, you have a pretty good looking vaporization effect. So I'm Gimp Know How. Thanks for watching this tutorial.